What's going on, Coyote Pack? It's a cloudy, rainy day here in central Ohio, which doesn't seem ideal when you're searching for creatures, unless those creatures are worms. Now, today I'm going to show you how to build a worm farm, and the first thing that we need are the worms. So let's go find some. Nothing like looking for worms in the rain. Check this one out. That's a good one right there. Got him. Oh yeah. That's a good worm right there. Come here, buddy. Oh yeah. Whoa. They are slippery. That is a Mondo worm right there. All right, in the container with these guys. Look at that. Okay, that's about 50 worms in 30 minutes. I'd say it's time to start construction on our worm farm. Okay, we're back. It is time to put together our worm farm. First, let's take a look at a worm. We've featured worms in the past, and all worms are known as annelids, segmented worms. Leeches and bloodworms are both related to the common earthworm, believe it or not, but we've never featured something as common as the nightcrawler. This is a species that you're very likely to see right in your own backyard. And believe it or not, the nightcrawler is invasive here in the United States. They originally came from Europe, and in the 1800s, settlers brought them over as we were colonizing America, and at this point, there's no way to get rid of the worms. But that's okay, because they're actually doing quite a bit of good for the environment by aerating the soil and re-enriching it with nutrients. Now, this is a rather simple creature, right? It doesn't have proper eyes, but it does have a mouth up front here, and in the back, it does have a butt, and actually, it just pooped on me. So that's gonna answer the question, do worms poop? Yep, they definitely poop. Look, he's pooping all over the table. It's like just a liquid dirt poop. But the worm's primary body structure takes place in the top third of its body. Both its brain, its heart, and its stomach are contained just above this saddle-like looking ring, which is usually purplish or peach in coloration. That's called the clitellum. And this little organ right here creates a thick, viscous mucus. So when a worm lays its eggs, right there is exactly where those eggs come from. Now, the worm has a very long stomach and a wide digestive tract with actually multiple stomachs throughout the body. So all throughout here, you have the digestion that's happening. And when you hold the worm up to the light, you can actually see all of the dirt and rotting plant material that is filtering through its body. And then, like we just saw a second ago, it would poop it out right from its anus, which is at the tip of the tail. Now, these segmented worms are really, really cool. And when they're fully stretched out, you can actually feel these little parapodia that run down the sides of their body. So you may be wondering, how does a worm actually get through the environment? They burrow through tunnels that they make, eating their way through an underground labyrinth. And these little tiny parapodia, those grip onto the dirt walls and propel the animal forward. Now, when it comes to injuring a worm, you may be saying, well, Coyote, can you just hold a worm like that? Certainly. They don't have a proper skeleton like a mammal or a reptile or a bird. In fact, they have no skeleton at all, no exoskeleton. These worms are completely squishy. However, they can be injured if you damage the worm anywhere above the clitellum. If you were to injure its brain, its heart, or its main stomach, yes, it would kill the worm. However, if the worm loses just a piece off of its lower end here, it will eventually rejuvenate. But the cool thing about worms is that they hold an incredibly positive role for the ecosystem by breaking down all of the old decaying plant matter that you find in the forest. Believe it or not, some worms even eat carrion, which is dead animals. I never thought worms could be so fascinating. I'd say at this point, we're probably ready to start building our worm farm. Now, in 30 minutes, I collected, I would say, close to 50 worms, and a lot of them are good size, definitely night crawlers. But building a worm farm isn't nearly as complex as you might think. And just to be clear, there are two very distinct types of worm farms. One is worms for composting. That is not the farm that we're going to be building today. Today we're building the most simplistic worm farm, one where you simply can admire these worms in a little container of your own. Now, what I recommend is a perfectly clear container like this. Placing them in a clear container and then inside of a darker container will help the worms feel more comfortable. And you place your worms inside the container like that to keep them out of direct light. Now, to actually build the farm, first, we need our building materials. We've got our gravel, our sticks, our leaf litter, our worm dirt, and of course, our container of worms. Now, the first thing you want to do is just add a small layer of gravel to the basin of your worm farm. Just gonna spread some of this in here. The finer the gravel, usually the better. And the reason for this is basic drainage. As your worms are eating and as you're watering their environment, that moisture is going to seep down towards the basin of the farm. That also helps all the worm excrement, the worm poop, to seep down to the bottom as well. The next thing you want to add is just a little bit of worm soil. Now remember guys, this is going to get a little messy, so building your worm farm outdoors might be the best play. And you want to make sure that you've got some dirt, oh, it's getting all over the place, some dirt that's real good and crumbly, right? The crumblier dirt is going to be easier for the worms to move through. The next thing you want to do is put down a layer of leaf litter. I went out and just collected some moist leaves. Now I always say the wetter, the better. Damp leaf litter will help it decompose faster. You don't want to just place a bunch of dry leaves in there because that will actually suck moisture out of the worms. Now, as you're putting together your layers, one thing that you're going to want to get is a worm water bottle. But just a little bit of water to spritz throughout the layers is good. You don't want to soak it, but you don't want it to be too dry. Okay, with this leaf litter in place, actually going to add in a couple of sticks. These basic branches that are already dead will actually just create some space for the worms to be able to move around underneath the soil. It's kind of like a worm jungle gym, if you will. And you can just kind of bury these down in there. And now you add on another layer of worm dirt. Sprinkle that in there. Let's put down a little more leaf litter. And last but not least, a container full of worms. You can slowly pick them out one at a time. Place them in different areas, different corners. All right, Mario, you want to get a shot there of the worms up on the surface?
Sure.
Kind of looks like a really disgusting cake with worms. Now, these are very low maintenance pets. All you need to do is a couple times a week, spritz them with your water bottle. Now, before you actually place the lid on top of your worm farm, because you do want to put a lid on it, otherwise they're going to crawl out. You want to either drill or poke some holes into the top. This allows for the flow of oxygen, which means that the worms are able to breathe. And there you have it. You have built a worm farm. Now, this is not a pet that you want to keep for eternity. I would recommend releasing your worms after a few weeks. And if you're not going to release them, at least change out the soil because they will eat out all the nutrients from it. And what's cool about that soil is that you can then actually replace it into your garden or put it into some of your potted plants. And it's full of rich nutrients and minerals that the worms have created through their poop. How cool is that? And there you go. That's your worm farm. Now, I can sense you're probably a little skeptical, saying to yourselves, Coyote, what can you really do with a worm farm? Guys, worms make great pets. You can take them to the park, you can take them on the playground, you can watch TV with them. All in all, worms make great pets. Mario just shook his head. His research had told him this was going to be very painful. This is the best part, I'm telling you. I know, and then Mario came into the office. He was like, you know what I've got for lunch today? I'm like, what? He's like, I got turkey sandwich. I'm like, there's no way. I got him, worms, I got him. Nice. Oh, here we go, Animal Planet Go. Brave the Wild, new episodes, how about that? All right, let's watch Coyote catch some creatures. These potato chips are great. You want some? No? How about you, Gary? I don't think so. Sloths don't eat chips. Oh man, see that? Catching lightning bugs is all about patience. You see one flash, and then you lose it. And then you see a flash over there, and you lose it again. Now the tactic I like to use is to follow the flash a couple times and then turn on my flashlight really quickly and swipe it up with the net. Take some patience, take some practice, take some precision. I missed him.
That wasn't very agile.
No,
or graceful.
These are some advanced lightning bugs for sure. There are over 2,000 species of fireflies throughout our planet. Now, they live on every continent except for Antarctica. In North America specifically, there are 150 different species of lightning bugs. Tonight, we are after the eastern lightning bug, arguably the most common species that you have here in the United States. Got him. Our little catch container's beginning to light up. It's really all about having great aim and hand-eye coordination once you see the lightning bugs. Now, I thought I'd be able to use the flashlight to light up the bugs once I saw them. That actually scares them away and they become even harder to catch. That catch container's got a lot of action going on in it. Got another one right in front of us. Here we go. Okay, I've got about 10 in the net. Couldn't tell you how many inside the capture jar. I think it's time to build the lightning bug lantern. And we're back. Now, before we get into building our lightning bug lantern, first, let's talk a little bit about lightning bugs. Or are they fireflies? That's a great question. Now, both terms technically are completely fine. However, these insects are not flies, but in fact are true beetles. Now, there are hundreds of thousands of beetle species worldwide, and tonight we have caught the eastern lightning bug. This is without question the most common species you're going to find in your backyard if you live in Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, or the Carolinas. This is the insect that you are going out seeing lighting up the night sky. Now, these bugs are rather unique, and I would wager to say that the lightning bug has no humans that are actually afraid of it. Humans seem to love lightning bugs, and I say the reason for that is that they are completely friendly. They have no stinger and no biting mouth parts. So if something can't bite you and it can't sting you, why would you be afraid of it? It's a completely safe species to interact with. Now, the lightning bug has a very interesting life cycle. Like most beetles, when the male and female breed, the female then goes down to the ground and lays her eggs. Those eggs then hatch into larvae. The larva buries down into the soil and will spend up to 2 years feasting off different little microorganisms that it comes across. After they go through the larva stage, they go through metamorphosis and then hatch into more lightning bugs. And what's crazy is that when the males and females come up out of the ground between the months of June and September to start their breeding dance, they only live for between 5 and 30 days. Can you imagine that? A life cycle that lasts for nearly 2 years underground and only a month above ground. And what's unique about their breeding cycle is that it's one of the most celebrated insect gatherings in the world. In fact, there are some locations where people will actually gather together to see the spectacle that is lightning bugs lighting up the night sky. Now let's answer what's likely your most pressing question. How do lightning bugs glow? It's something called bioluminescence. Bioluminescence has a rather lengthy scientific definition. I could give you that entire definition and it would go on and on and on and be long-winded, but for the sake of this video, we're going to give you the short definition. Bioluminescence is a chemical reaction that happens within an organism's body that causes light. The reason it causes light is that these insects have a molecule inside of them known as luciferin. That luciferin, when it mixes with the oxygen, has a reaction that causes light, hence the fact that they light up the night sky. Now, like all insects, lightning bugs have 3 basic body parts: a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. You can see a little yellow pocket. That is where the luciferin is stored. Now, when the lightning bug isn't glowing, it just looks as if it's a pale yellow. When the lightning bug lights up, that's exactly where the glow is coming from. And when it comes to lightning bugs, the abdomen is actually referred to as the lantern, which will perfectly transition us into the next part of tonight's video, how to build your lightning bug lantern. First thing in is the grass. Nice fresh grass, good and green. Doing this outdoors is usually advisable because some of the lightning bugs will probably get away in the process. And if some of them escape, don't worry, they're just gonna head right back off into the environment. Next, I'm going to drop in a few leaves. Remember, these leaves provide the opportunity for the lightning bugs to hide and take shelter, especially during the day. These insects love to stay hidden and out of sight. Now, the last little piece you need from nature is a couple of twigs. I picked twigs that have a bunch of different little branches on them so that the lightning bugs feel as if they have a jungle gym. That gives them something to climb around on and to perch on. It's a little easier to get purchase on a twig than it is the side of a plastic or a glass container. Okay, this is it. Time to add our lightning bugs. This process is a little difficult, and remember, you want to be gentle with your lightning bugs. Now, they are going to crawl around inside your plastic catch container, so what I recommend is just gently tapping on the surface to get them to drop down into the basin. Okay, there we go. So what I'm going to do is slowly begin to transfer some of my lightning bugs, if I can, one at a time. Oh boy, they're really wanting to crawl out in a hurry. If you can get them to come out and onto the edge of the container like this, you can almost funnel and gently feed them down and into your lantern. There we go, there's one there, in you go. Everybody in. Oh, that one's getting away. Jimmy, no. I named that one Jimmy. Oh, losing one there. That's okay, and remember, if some escape in the process, that's completely, oh no, I'm spilling them. Oh, they're getting away, this isn't good. Oh, they're getting away. In you go, in you go. That's why we catch as many as possible. I wasn't able to count every single one that I got, but I would say I was close to 35 or 40. Oh, Billy, get in there, Billy. That's one of the real challenges. Can you actually name all of your lightning bugs that you catch? Susie, get in there. Tammy, Deborah. Oh, I missed. In you go, in you go. There we go. Wow, that's actually pretty impressive. I would say I got 95% of my lightning bugs into the actual lantern. Look at that. Our jar looks fantastic. Grass, leaves, twigs, and lightning bugs. Now, the very last thing that you want to use is your little piece of bendable wire. This is how you actually complete the lantern by making a little handle. Check this out. So I'm gonna put a little twist in it there. This piece comes around the side and tucks in like this. There we go, twist that around like that. Good and secure. Get this on this side. Now, if you're working with wire, it may not be a bad idea to have your parents help you a little bit. You don't wanna prick yourself on the end of that. There we go. The handle is nice and secure. And there you have it, your very own summer lightning bug lantern. Now, it is important to note that this is not a species that you want to keep forever. Remember, they have a very short life cycle. What I recommend is going out just before sunset to catch your lightning bugs. Build your container outside, get it set up just like this, take it inside, place it next to your bed before you tuck in, and you're gonna have the perfect lightning bug nightlight. Wake up in the morning, take them with you to breakfast, admire them during the afternoon, then head back out to the exact same location towards sunset and release them back into the wild so they can continue on with their breeding. Now, if you guys get the chance to head out this summer and build your very own lightning bug lantern, make sure to tag me on social media, @Coyote Peterson, and I'll do my best to like and watch all of the videos and maybe even some comments on the success that you guys have with catching lightning bugs.
Coyote?
Yeah.
How you feeling, buddy?
Sweaty and out of it, actually. We are about 2.5 hours in at this point, and I'll tell you what, one of the toughest aspects was hiking the 45 minutes back out of the rainforest. I just keep sweating profusely. My arm currently is very sore. It's red, it is swollen. Check this out. That right there is the mark where the stinger went in. It's like this permanent welt that just isn't going away. And you'll notice all of the blotchiness around the sting zone. Very, very similar to the velvet ant. Now, when I was stung by the tarantula hawk, my arm just swelled up like it was full of water, almost like a water balloon. This is different, not as much swelling, but very, very tender. All I have to do is touch the skin around the sting zone, and it feels like a bunch of little tiny needles going in and out. And I'm having this after effect where every 10 to 15 minutes, it feels as if I'm being stung again. And then you have these waves of pain that are throbbing. It's like, whoa, whoa. There's a lot of venom in my arm right now, and we know that because I probably took, I'd say 2 to 3 times the amount of venom because the stinger actually got stuck in my arm. How crazy was that shot? Can you believe that we got that?
Definitely was not an average sting.
No, if you're just stung by a bullet ant out there walking, one just whap tags you, and then you do everything you can to get it off, you're not getting, as much venom as would go in if the stinger was actually stuck. So it's definitely fair to say that I've taken more venom than the average sting would yield, but that's good because it's giving us the full opportunity to see the effects of this venom on my system. Now, I know a lot of you at this point are thinking, okay, Coyote, we're so glad that you're okay. I know everybody's worried every time I take one of these stings, and as we always show you, we have an epinephrine pen with us just in case I go into anaphylactic shock. Now, the other thing that we often have that we haven't shared with you guys before is this. That's a satellite phone. All you need to do is press a single button on this and a life flight helicopter will come pick us up anywhere in the world. So don't worry, if anything tragic happens, we're gonna get me out of danger as quickly as possible. Now, whenever we do one of these bite and sting episodes, I like to show you guys the basic first aid that you could have right in your medicine cabinet or that you would get from the pharmacy. But today we're gonna do something just a little bit different.
Are you gonna pee in a bottle again?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Does urine work on a bullet ant sting? No, sorry guys, sorry Mario, no pee for this aftermath video.
Mario's disappointed.
That's fine with me, man.
But what we do have is a product called Sting Kill. Now, this is a company that has been around for a long time, and it's a basic remedy for any insect bite or sting. Now, this one here is an actual sting wipe. It's got benzocaine and menthol. The menthol is gonna be fantastic because that's a cooling agent, and my arm is on fire right now. Don't believe me? Mark, go ahead and touch the skin there on my forearm and tell everybody, is that warm to the touch?
That is really hot. You can even tell from like the side of your arm to right to the sting.
So, what I'm gonna do is open this up and let's see if the sting wipe helps to cool off my arm. This is nice. These are perfect. This could fit right in any hiking backpack. And this is for any basic bite or sting. Could be a honeybee, could be a hornet. In this case, it is going to be a bullet ant. Ooh, that's strong. Yeah, look at that. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna apply it to the skin. That's pretty nice. That is cooling, and I can actually feel it slightly numbing the surface of my skin. There's definitely a cooling factor going on here. I can still feel burning deep within my arm, but the actual, the surface level of my skin feels cool. Yeah, that's actually really nice. Wow, okay. Now, the other product that I have with us is that guy. Here we go. Oh, this looks like a magic remedy right there. Check that out. Is that bullet ant kryptonite? We're about to find out. Maximum strength sting kill. Now, to use this, what you want to do is just crack the glass tube that's inside there. Ooh, look at that. That's cool. You see that? All right, look at that. Yeah, you can see it seeping right down into the tip there. Here we go. First drop. I'm going to just gently apply that to the sting zone. Ooh, cool. Kind of looks like mutagen from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh, wow.
So
it is numb.
Is Sting Kill the real deal?
Sting Kill may have just taken away the pain from the bullet ant. Wow, that did. I can't believe that. That actually just worked.
Really?
It really did. I won't lie, I was expecting it to be like, oh, okay, kind of works. Yeah, my arm is completely numb right there. Wow. Yeah, look at that. Just a minute ago, you couldn't even touch the skin. When you just touched my arm, it felt like sharp little needles.
Nothing.
Nothing. No, totally numb. That is unbelievable. I'll tell you this much, we will definitely be using the sting wipes and the maximum sting kill in our first aid kits in all locations moving forward. Slithering with stealth through the tangles of palm plants, the northern water snake is constantly on the search for its next meal. If you enter the serpent's lair and attempt to capture it, there's a good chance you will be bitten.
I'm losing it. Oh, latched onto my finger. Oh boy. That's a big bite. Woo! Latched onto my arm.
Oh boy. Yeah, I am definitely bleeding. Youch. Took a bite on the finger and a full bite all across my arm. This is how to clean up a water snake bite. All right, well, the aftermath of a water snake bite. I got chomped pretty good there. Not exactly what I was going for, but when you grab onto a water snake to make sure you can get the episode, you do whatever it takes. As we all know, at this point, the water snake is a non-venomous species. If that was a venomous snake, I would be rushing myself to the hospital, or rather, Mario, you would be rushing me to the hospital at that point, and we'd be looking at a completely different type of first aid. But what I have here, Survival Emergency Solutions First Aid Field Kit. This is pretty awesome. Now, these guys sent me these first aid kits. Very cool kit. It's got all the details about what's inside of the kit right here on the front. And on the inside, you can see just how organized everything is. It even has gloves for infection protection. At this point, I don't think I'm gonna get an infection from this water snake bite, but the first thing I'm gonna do is actually use some saline solution to clean it off. Now, let me hold up my hand here for you, Mario. You can see on my pinky where the snake's entire mouth chomped on and wrapped around and actually ripped some holes in the flesh there. And I actually think, oh, yep, hold on a second. You're not gonna be able to see this, but that right there is a snake tooth. Now, like sharks, snakes are constantly regenerating their teeth, and water snakes specifically have 6 rows of teeth, one after another after another. And as they lose these teeth, they just grow right back in and are replaced. So I want that entire scene with actually having a snake tooth stuck in my finger. Now, I was also bitten on my arm, and you can see the entire bite radius of that snake's mouth right there. Now, at this point, it doesn't really hurt, and that's because in their saliva, they do have a little bit of a numbing agent. But because of the snake's saliva being in there, and also the fact that I was in that gross pond water, what I'm gonna wanna do is just clean that off with a little bit of saline solution. This is cool. This is just like a little tube, and I think I just twist that off there. And I'm gonna use a cotton gauze swab to clean off the bite site. Now with those 2 bite sites, what I actually want to do is just sort of saturate this with saline. There we go. That's good. And go ahead and get a shot of my finger there. Sort of wipe that off. I want to get any of that pond gunk. Oh yeah, look at that. All that dirt coming off of there. Snake saliva. And then also on my forearm there. Wipe that off really good. That will help just get any of the swampy debris off of my arm. Looks a little cleaner, right? Okay, there we go. Now, I also have skin cleaning wipes, and there's an antiseptic in this that will help kill any of the germs that are nestling down into my skin from the areas where the teeth went in. I have a feeling that this might sting a little bit. Ready? Yep, just a touch, but not as bad as getting an infection. Now, it's not actually the snake bite that would give me an infection, but the dirty pond water that got into the bites that I have to worry about. There we go. Oh, yeah, that does sting a bit. Now, believe it or not, guys, that's about all you need to do for a non-venomous snake bite. However, if you want to, you certainly can put on a Band-Aid. Now, you can also, of course, put Neosporin on these bites if you want, but these bandages actually have an anti-infection cream right there in the padding. So I'm just gonna cover that up like that. Perfect. Now, I always carry a first aid kit with me out into the wilderness. You guys don't always see it, but it is always in my pack because you never know when you're gonna need to administer first aid for yourself or one of the crew members. Now, when it comes to water snakes, remember guys, it is a non-venomous species. So if you come across one in the wild and you decide to catch it, do be aware that it can bite you, but if you are bitten, it's not going to be that bad. However, I must emphasize that because they're so bitey, it's always best to admire them from a safe distance. What's going on, Coyote Pack? It is a beautiful autumn day here in Columbus, Ohio, and we're at one of my favorite metro parks, Prairie Oaks. Mario, do you remember the last time we were here?
I definitely do, and I was wearing a lot more layers because it was freezing. I definitely appreciate this temperature today.
We made a video called Winter Wilderness, a buddy film. So I figured, why not make a buddy film sequel where we head back out into the environment to look for mammals. But what's unique about today is we're debuting the Brave Wilderness North American Mammals Adventure Kit.
All right, what's in it?
Of course, we want to know what's inside the box, right? So my favorite mammal is the wolverine, and I always wanted a wolverine figurine as a kid. So there you have it.
Nice.
Absolutely love this guy.
Oh man, that
Beautiful,
is really
right?
accurate.
Absolutely. Now give me back that toy. So what else is cool about this kit is it has an animal track plaster kit.
Wow, I've actually never used one of these.
You've never done this before?
No, I'm not. So that's a legit plaster kit.
It is.
Wow.
So what I was thinking we would do today is head back out into the environment and see who can find the coolest mammal tracks and then make plaster casts of them. Now we should rank these tracks on 3 different levels.
Okay.
I think uniqueness of species found, the quality of the actual print as it lies naturally within the environment, and then last but not least, the quality of the cast you pull.
Okay, sounds good. Is there a prize at the end?
How about the winner gets to take home the toy Wolverine?
Nice.
Not yet though. First, you've got to find those tracks. Let's give ourselves 30 minutes. You think we can find tracks and pour that cast within 30 minutes?
I think so. I think I'm a good tracker.
Okay, cool. Well, you have a GoPro, I'll have a GoPro. Let's split up and may the best animal tracker win.
Searching for tracks is something that requires your full attention.
In most instances, I consider animal tracking an art form. It can be very difficult to find mammals in the wild. Now what I'm on right here is actually a game trail. So I followed this a ways and it heads downhill and it looks like toward a river. Now any body of water is going to be the best place to find animal tracks. Where the ground is softer, that's where the animals are going to leave their impression.
So this is not necessarily going to get some prints that well. It's a little too dry, too hard of a surface.
Ah, look at this. My first tracks. Those are deer tracks right there. Definitely the hoof from likely a pretty good sized white-tailed deer. Now, you may look at a track like this and say, okay, is this the perfect spot to start your cast? Not really. A lot of this substrate is very sandy, full of tiny little pebbles. So getting a good impression of that track is not going to be possible.
Not sure how Coyote's doing, but I've got around 15 minutes left before we have to meet back. So I've got to really step it up here. I'll go in that direction.
Now this kind of substrate is absolutely perfect. Look at this. These deer tracks here are in good, firm clay. Now these would be the perfect tracks for me to cast, except a white-tailed deer is about the most common animal in this area. And I don't think I'm gonna win the contest by casting tracks of deer.
What are these? Look at these tracks.
So I moved further inland from the river, hoping that eventually I will find a different body of water, maybe a swamp, maybe a pond. Everything's just so dry right now. This is looking promising up here though. Look at this. Yes, yes. This is my first and most definitive sign. This, right there, is coyote poop. And from the smell of it, it's fresh. Now you may be saying to yourself, Coyote, how can you look at animal scat and determine that it's from a coyote? Well, there are no large canine in this area like wolves. This is too big to be a fox. And there are a bunch of little hares and berries also in it. As to which direction this coyote traveled, I'm not sure. But with the river just ahead of us here, I think I'll go back down to the embankment and see if it went down there for a drink. Okay, coyote poop, we are hot and on the stinky track.
This is definitely not a mammal.
I don't know what tracks these are.
Huh. They look very bird-like. Not sure what species this is. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and it kind of disappears here in the long grass. which of course would make sense. If you're an animal, you're gonna hide in this vegetation.
Okay, we've got a down slope over here. Ooh, and it looks like a muddy embankment. Okay, let's check this out. This is the best mud I've seen all day. Look at this. More mud than there is sand and rocks. No tracks yet though.
Well, I don't know what this is. These tracks are really intriguing. They look like dinosaur tracks, but of course, it's not possible. At least I don't think it's possible.
Hold on a second, here we go. I think I got something. Yes, 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 yes. We've got coyote tracks. Wow, okay. That's a coyote track. That's a coyote track. That right there is a great coyote track. Yes! Okay, I have found some tracks in pretty solid mud and with only about 3 minutes to spare, which means I need to quickly set up my plaster kit and pour that plaster to pull a track. Not exactly the rarest animal in this area, but at this point, I'll take anything I can get. Now, before I cast my track, actually something that I'll do is just use a small piece of wood like this, which is an old tree branch. It's very flat and very smooth, to actually flatten out the earth around the track to make as perfect of a cast as I can. I don't know if Mario's aware of this prep work.
All right, so here is the kit. Most important is the instructions.
Mixing ratio, 2 fluid ounces of water for every ½ cup of plaster mix. So in the kit is a little mixing dish, just like this, and a track ring. Now you want to place this ring around the track so that you can pour the plaster onto the inside.
Now the next step is to actually mix the plaster. Knife with you. Okay, I just got my knife.
And now I'm going to slowly start pouring that into my mixing container. I'm going to only put about 1/4 of the bag in to start.
I'm just gonna put all of it actually. Now next step is to add some water. I'm not sure how to measure out 2 fluid ounces because we don't have a measuring device. Just gonna eyeball it.
You don't want the plaster to be too thin and you don't want it to be too thick. Now we also provide you with a stirring stick, and you want this to have the consistency of thick glue. So right now it is way, way, way too watery. So what I'm gonna do is start to add more plaster powder.
This needs more water.
Oh, this is cool. All right, now we're getting somewhere.
This is getting messy really fast.
This will start to set within just minutes, so you want to move quickly once you start your mixing process.
All right, next step is to pour it in.
This is that magic moment, and you only get 1 shot at it, so make sure the plaster is the perfect consistency. Ooh. I always like to start in the front paw pads. Okay, now the track is completely covered, but to make sure that it's all down and in and you don't have any air pockets, I like to use my stir stick to just work the plaster around a little bit and into the track.
Okay. Need a little bit more water in here. Oh. That's too much water. It's a lot harder than it looks, guys. It's my first time doing this.
You want to pace it out as you're adding more plaster. You don't want to dump it all on in one fell swoop. Otherwise, it won't dry properly. Take your time, be patient, and with any luck, you will have a perfect animal print cast.
All right, well, there you have it. That's my attempt at making a plaster mold of an animal track.
Okay, my track is completely cast. So at this point, we just need to wait for about 2 hours. We'll come back and check them and then identify the species.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, let's go get some lunch. Okay, it has been about 2.5 hours since we set our plaster.
Yeah,
And at this point, it should be dry.
I'm a little nervous
Why?
because I don't know if mine set properly. I don't know if I followed the right directions.
Well, in all fairness, it is your first time. And that's what's cool about this experience. And for a lot of people out there watching, it will be their first time at doing a cast of a track. But with any luck, they'll be fantastic. So let's head back down this way into the wilderness, find our tracks, and see if they set.
All right.
Check this out.
What do you think those are?
Wow. I have no idea. I mean, my initial instinct would be a turkey, but the toes aren't long enough. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna say you're pulling a fast one on me, but let's check your plaster and see how that is going to turn out.
So
Now, just almost like a sandcastle, flip that over and let's see what you have underneath. Wow, okay. I'm gonna give you some credit here. It's looking good. Pour a little bit of water on there. Wow, that is cool.
That looks like a dinosaur.
That looks exactly like a dinosaur footprint. Are you kidding me? That is a great cast right there. So, you see what happened though is there's a lot of sand now permanently worked into your cast. You're never gonna get all of that out of there. So let's take this down to the river, rinse it off the rest of the way, and then we'll go check my track. All right. Let's see here. Okay, so my ring will completely come off because I didn't put the plaster all the way to the edges. Now here's the tricky part. Because that ground is so wet, solid. I don't want the cast to break as I'm bringing it up. So I'm gonna use this stick to dig out around the track and pry it up. There we go. Just like that, and the entire structure of the earth comes up with it. Now inside there should be a perfect coyote track. Oh, it's looking good. This is gonna be great. Just get these outer edges peeled away. Now the next thing I want to do is rinse it off in the river and see just how perfect it looks. Now when it comes to washing out your cast, one thing you can use is just an old toothbrush to gently finesse out any of the remaining mud and dirt. Okay, and there it is, a perfectly cast coyote track. You can see the toe pads, the heel pad, and even some claw marks. Now, this was your first time out there casting animal tracks in the wild. What did you think? How difficult was this?
Well, I wasn't that confident initially because of the mess I made, but after the way my cast actually turned out, it's super easy. If I could do it, you could definitely do it as well.
Now remember guys, the Brave Wilderness Adventure Kit North American Mammals Edition is available right now. And when it comes to who won the Wolverine figurine, I think it's a tough call. I honestly thought that I was gonna win just because I knew what I was doing, but your track with its uniqueness, and that's a really good cast for a first timer.
Oh, thank you.
It's tough to tell. So what I say we do is leave it up to the Coyote pack.
Okay.
Who's gonna win, guys? Is it Coyote with a Coyote track or Mario with the mystery animal track? Write in the comments section below and tell us who's gonna win the Wolverine figurine. If you are looking for a great place to go out and see animals or signs of them in a natural environment, the parks in your area are a sure bet. Winter is coming, so make sure to get outside and enjoy the last warm days of the year. And if you can't find any animal tracks naturally, like Mario, using one of your favorite toys to create them is a totally acceptable solution. The rolling grasslands of South Africa are home to a wide variety of animal species, many of which are considered to be cultural icons, including elephants, giraffes, and lions. In addition to the land-dwelling giants, you will also find species like the hippopotamus that inhabit the various water systems. The hippo is considered to be one of the most dangerous animals in the world. And on this expedition, their possible presence would be an ever-pressing danger as we headed out onto the Bushman's River. This winding waterway was the perfect place for us to search for South Africa's largest lizard, the Nile Monitor. As we drifted along, our sights were set on the steep embankments, which served as the perfect basking spot for these semi-aquatic reptiles. So along this section of the river, you have a lot of dense grass, which could be an okay spot to find the lizards, but they really like to bask out on the rocks. Now, our guide Joe told us that just up around a couple of these bends, you do have some cliff faces. The difficulty with cliff faces is that the lizards may be higher up and tougher to catch, but if we can get them to jump down and into the water, they'll submerge and then come up and start to swim. That would give me the opportunity to actually snare from the front of the boat. Anything's possible today, guys, but trust me, you've got my word. We are going to catch one of these monitors. Catching one of these speedy and agile lizards would be no easy feat. To catch the Nile Monitor, I would need to build a snare. a tactic that has worked successfully in the past on reptiles such as the spiny-tailed iguana and spectacled caiman.
Just about 4 o'clock. The sun's starting to get low in the sky, but it's still warm enough for these lizards to be out basking. They're soaking up the last rays of the sun for today before they hunker down in their burrows for the evening. This is a diurnal species, which means that they're hunting under the light of day.
For several miles, we pressed upriver, yet not a single monitor had been spotted.
Hey guys, the spot looks perfect, but so far we have not seen any signs of lizards. You do have burrows that are up along the edge of this cliffside here. We see birds flying around, which means there are likely nests, which we know these lizards will feed on. It's just a matter of actually locating one of these giant reptiles.
The sun was beginning to get low in the sky. Then just as we were about to turn the boat back toward home, I spotted our reptilian target.
Get the camera set up. Okay, we've got a monitor lizard that is just up on top of this rock. It is basking, it may be asleep. Man, it's a tough call, guys. Do I go for the snare or do I go for the hand catch here? Okay, let's motor in really, really slow.
He is definitely onto us. I don't know if maybe you should go on land.
Let's keep cruising in slow. All right, guys, we've got the lizard just up over my left shoulder here. It has spotted us, but it has not moved yet. The goal here is for me to just glide in as close as we can and try to snare it. If I have to jump out after it, I'm just gonna drop the stick and go. Okay, here we go. Go ahead, cut the motor and get us in right toward the edge. The rope is around the lizard. I've got it. Got it. Got a good hold on him. Hold us still, hold us still.
Bring him on board. Bring him on the boat.
Bringing him up, hold on. I don't have him under control yet. Okay, up on top of the boat. Hold on, nobody move. All right, I got him by his tail now. Whoa, look out, look out, look out. He's rearing around. Hold on, I'm gonna make for a grab. Here we go, hold on 1 second. Got a good shot. 1, 2, 3, got him. Yes! There you have it, folks. This is a powerful lizard. All right, guys, let's kind of just coast across the side there and get this reptile up close for the cameras. Look at that. A modern day dragon for you right there. Wow, one shot at it and we got our lizard. Man, that is epic. Woo! Okay, I'm gonna be real careful getting off here. All right. Hi, buddy, I see you. Okay. Wow, you can hear that lizard hissing. Okay, what I need to do is get slightly better control of the reptile. I actually want to loosen the snare here quickly. Just kind of get it off of him. Here we go. There we go. Wow. Let me turn it profile for you. Ooh, watch out for the tail, guys. Watch out for the tail. He has still got some incredible fight in him. What I don't want is to take a whip in the face from that tail. They will actually use that as a defense mechanism against any potential predator. Whoa, look at those claws. Okay, I'm gonna let him just latch onto my leg like that. Is that an okay shot for you, Mark?
It's all right. I can make you.
I mean, he's grappled onto me and I don't want to let go of his neck.
Stay there. That's good.
You can see the foam coming from the lizard's mouth. A lot of bacteria in there. I'm trying to get my hand from.
Do you want me to undo that from your hand?
There we go. Hold on. I want to kind of get the rope off. Actually, Mario, if you could help me out for a second here. I want to make sure that I don't find my fingers in the mouth of the lizard. What I'm gonna do, hold on, just kind of keep him balanced out in front of me like this. There we go. Now I tethered myself to the lizard just in case it got away. That way it wouldn't escape with a rope around its body. Okay. Man, those claws are sharp.
Those are like bear claws.
Whoa, those are sharp. Let me see you here, buddy. There we go. Wow, look at its mouth open there. That is a beautiful reptile. My goodness. Okay. You got the, yeah, there you go. Go ahead, just cut it off. Okay, just kind of feed that string out. Ow, 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 claws, claws, claws. Man, what an incredible dragon. Look at that. Okay, now I've got control, or at least I think, of the lizard. Mario, I'll give you a second to reposition yourself in the scene.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the NILE Monitor. My goodness, what a gorgeous reptile. And that's pretty decent size. Now they do get bigger. They can reach lengths of 6 feet, but this is a formidable beast, an opportunistic predator, primarily carnivorous, and they'll also scavenge on dead bodies of animal carcasses that are floating down the river system. Now, what makes these monitors specifically unique is that they're adapted for living in an aquatic environment. Look at the tail of this creature. It's flat, almost like a propeller or a rudder, and that helps them to propel their bodies through the water. Now, let's take a look at the face of this reptile. As we know, dinosaurs evolved for the most part into birds, but when you zoom in and you look at that face, you can see just how this resembles the face of a velociraptor. What's really unique about this monitor species is that the nostrils are positioned high up on the skull. That allows them to keep just their eyes and their nose above the water when they're swimming. Wow, it's looking right at me right now with incredible intelligence. Now, the monitor lizard is one of the smartest reptile species in the world. So smart, in fact, that they can be considered problem solving. And right now, this lizard's probably thinking to himself, how did I manage to get myself caught by Coyote Peterson and the brave wilderness team? But trust me, guys, this adventure was worth it because this is the one reptile I had hoped that we would get up close for the cameras here in South Africa. Look at all of the muscle in this lizard's hindquarters. Let me hold it upright like that. Can you see that? And the hands are like bear paws. Look at how they're just grappled onto my arm right now. You'll notice they have enormous claws. They're excellent diggers, and they will dig through the substrate, oftentimes searching for eggs. Now, in an area where you have Nile crocodiles, they will actually move in and wipe out an entire clutch of eggs in a single sitting. Let's look at the scale structure of this reptile. As I run my hand down the length of its back and over its tail, it feels exactly like I would imagine a dinosaur to feel. Now, of course, as we know, if some dinosaurs had feathers, they would be a lot fluffier. But in this instance, trust me, guys, it feels as if I am holding onto something that is 65 million years old. Actually, monitor lizards date back over 100 million years in the fossil record. Imagine something that looks just like this, only 10 times this size, roaming the countryside here in South Africa during the days of the dinosaurs. That would be intimidating.
So, Coyote, that was interesting. You went for the snare. You
Yes.
weren't really sure what you were going to do.
Well, considering the fact I really wanted to catch one of these, barehanded, knowing that it was positioned up on that embankment and I had clear space to get the snare close to its head, I figured that was the right play. Oftentimes, lizards are really curious if you dangle a string out in front of them. It doesn't look that threatening. The lizard actually raised its head up in the air, allowed me to get the snare right over top of it. I actually let the lizard move through the snare a little bit before I cinched it down, and then I had it right around its front legs and its midsection. The perfect spot to snare a reptile like this. Oh, claws going into my fingers. Man, he's got a hold of me. Hi, buddy. Look at you. I am so excited right now. And it's tough positioning here on the embankment of this river. Tough to hold on to the lizard and keep myself in position, but let me get it back like this. There we go. Well, guys, it was a long, arduous search up the river, but we finally came across the elusive NILE Monitor. Over the past year, this has become the third species of monitor lizard that we have featured on the Brave Wilderness channel. And I think it's easy to see why. I have become fascinated with these predatory reptiles. Their speed and cunning agility make them incredibly difficult to catch. Their razor-sharp teeth and dinosaur-like claws make them dangerous to interact with. And when you combine all of that with their high level of intelligence, you can begin to understand why these incredible lizards pose quite the challenge to safely present in front of the cameras. All right, guys, the most difficult part about catching a monitor is then in turn releasing the monitor. Okay, I'm gonna gently lay down here and hopefully it's going to spring off into the water. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Woo! The good news is, I still have all of my fingers. Yes! The beautiful backcountry of Montana is an adventure lover's paradise. From the towering mountains to the flowing expanse of golden prairies, this wilderness can be enjoyed in many ways. Yet nothing is more classic than to explore it on horseback. Today we are on location, visiting the ranches at Belt Creek. What's going on, Coyote Pack? Today we are on location in Belt, Montana. Now we've actually filmed episodes here before, and in the past we showed you guys some horses. And you all wrote in the comment section and said, Coyote, why didn't you guys do a horseback riding episode? So today we're here with Mark Hahn, and we're gonna head out to the ranch, aren't we?
Yeah, so we're getting ready to head out on 7,000 acres of pristine Montana wilderness, heading down into a dry canyon, up to mountaintops. Gonna be absolutely beautiful.
And we're going on the horses, right?
Yes, riding on horses through the ranches at Belt Creek.
Okay, well if you guys are ready, I know the crew and I are ready. Let's saddle up and head out there. The overall goal of this adventure, aside from admiring the beautiful expanse of this landscape, is to ride the horses out through the valleys and up onto a vista where we can capture some epic drone shots. But before we can head out, first, let's meet our horses. One of the pack. Mario, what's this? One of the pack?
What? Oh, do you like that?
That's cool. Where'd you get that?
I'm one of the first ones who actually get this. This is the official Coyote Pack backpack tag.
I didn't know that those were out yet.
Shh.
Hey,
Secret.
what's your horse's name?
This is Sunny.
Hey, buddy. That's a good-looking horse right there.
Hey, how are you?
This expedition into the wilds of Montana will be led by Jenny Hennis, who has spent her entire life training and riding horses. All right, guys, we are heading out to ride some horses today. Now, Jenny, this is Dorito, correct? And this is a horse I'll be riding.
This is your horse.
Yes, I love paint horses. All right, I'm gonna actually climb up onto the horse now. Is it okay to mount?
Go for it.
Here we go. You guys ready?
Let's see it.
Oh boy.
Very graceful.
That's right, ready to go.
You've done this before.
I was actually an extra in Dances with Wolves.
That's not true.
How
All
do
right.
the strips feel?
Is that true, Mario?
Absolutely not.
Settle up, cowboys. I'll wait for you.
All right.
Are we gonna race?
No lone riders out here.
Now,
I don't think we're supposed to race, Mario.
Dorito, how's it going, buddy?
what's the horse's name, Mario?
His name's Dorito.
Dorito?
Yeah. I
Cool
like
Ranch
Doritos.
Dorito.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah. Coolest horse in the herd. All right, guys, I'm putting on my sunglasses, true cowboy style. Here we go.
Oh,
I don't think cowboys had sunglasses.
Well, they do now. All right, boys, well, you better saddle up.
Ready, Mario?
Ready.
All right, let's go.
Let's mount up.
Here we go. Thank you, Mario, for my
Pass you
camera. Good luck, buddy.
All right.
We'll see you on the trail.
See ya. Nice to meet you, Dusty. And how is he?
He's great.
He's great.
Trustworthy.
All right, trustworthy. And I could leave everyone in my dust, right?
I don't know if he leaves people in the dust or if he gets left in the dust. I'm
Oh.
not sure where his name comes from.
Ryan, how you doing?
Oh, I'm going.
All right, we got Ryan out here today. He's one of the great wilderness editors.
Off trail, off trail.
Horseback riding, isn't it?
First time off trail already. Sonny got a carrot over here.
Bye, son.
Oh, Sonny. Oh, boy. Just passed by me. Okay. Beautiful, Sonny. Beautiful.
Sonny likes you, Chris.
Beautiful. All right, stop.
All right, guys, we are headed down into the canyon right now. What's really cool is this little dog here running with us. That's Busy. And Busy pretty much runs the show around here. Keeps all the bears away. Dorito, Dusty, and Blackjack are all highly trained thoroughbred horses, and they are known for their agility, speed, and high-spirited personalities. And it didn't take us long to realize that each of these horses definitely had their own personalities.
Why are we going down here? Blackjack, no.
Uh-oh.
Jack, what are you doing?
That's like first-person perspective right there. You guys are watching, and this is exactly what it feels like to trot. Check this out. Here we go. Good girl. Woo! Yep, very bouncy shot right there.
How's it going, Coyote?
Good, how's Dusty doing?
Dusty's doing great.
How are we looking, Jenny?
Looking good.
So far, so good. We've made it partway down into the canyon. Dusty, how you feeling? How about you, Dorito? Good horse, huh? Dorito's doing an awesome job. I just finished giving the audience a first-person perspective in trotting.
Whoa.
It's a bit of a bouncy shot.
It is bouncy. He's got the gimbal.
How's it going, guys?
Going good.
Gimbal's working well on this horse.
Nice. All right, see you later, guys. Forward ho.
How's it going, Mark?
Going good. 3 amigos. GoPros.
We're having a good time on the trail. Eating flies. Looking for bears. Whoa. Strike zone.
Riding horseback out in the backcountry, Montana. Doesn't get much better than this. Isn't that right, Blackjack? He said yeah.
It's pretty cool to be out here in Montana on horses. And I can just imagine what it was like back 100 years ago when people were coming across the prairie, settling some of these lands and just experiencing this wilderness for the first time. Pretty cool. Woo! Look at that view. Wow. Big Sky, Montana.
We made it.
Yes. What an epic ride, huh, guys?
That was incredible. Good boy,
Certainly
Black.
was. Exploring through the canyons and finally making it to this plateau, which looks like the perfect place to fly the drone.
I think that sounds about right. Why don't we get the bird out, get some epic shots?
Sounds good to me.
All right, let's turn her on. Here we go.
The ranches at Belt Creek are truly a magical place, where you can find 365 days of great outdoor activities, 5-star accommodations, and rustic simplicity. If you are interested in visiting this beautiful location, make sure to check out their website for details on how you can book your next adventure. All right, guys, we are headed back to our jungle base camp. My toe is still throbbing right now. We're gonna try to film an aftermath episode, show you guys how to clean up the bite from a toe biter. I did put my boot back on my foot. I can't walk through all this jungle mud and grime and risk getting a bunch of dirt wedged into it, but just having to walk on my heel right now with every step. It's just like a shooting pain right into my big toe. My toe is absolutely throbbing right now. What I want to do is just get it in some hot water as soon as I possibly can. Mark and Mario went on up ahead. I said, yeah, I'll be fine. Just want to get a couple of takes from out here in the field. Sweating and just uncomfortable. Feels like somebody slammed my big toe with a hammer. All right, let's keep moving. That is a slow hike back out of the rainforest to get to our jungle camp. Whoa, the toe biter. It is pretty much as bad as I remembered it to be. Granted, before I was bitten on the thigh and not on the toe, but like I said, the toe just seemed sort of poetic in this instance. You may be wondering, do I regret it now? A little bit, maybe because of how much pain I'm in, but honestly, hopefully we all learned something incredibly valuable from this little experiment. If you see a toe biter, don't try to pick it up. Don't try to step on it if you're barefoot, and do your best to just admire it from a safe distance. All right, I will check in with you guys as soon as we get back to base camp. Here we go. All right, guys, I'm almost back to base camp. I sent Mario ahead, and he is boiling some water right now. Actually, boiling water is likely going to help my toe in this scenario. And okay, thanks. Oh yeah, chair. All right, Mark's got a chair for me. We're gonna do a little first aid. My toe's still throbbing. A little first aid on my toe biter bite, which is on my big left toe. All right, I gotta get my boot off. Hold on a second here. Let's see. Sock off. Oh. There's a spot right there. See that? There's a blood spot right there. Now what I want to do is I got a first aid kit here in my pack, and I always have a trauma kit with me everywhere that I go. There we go. Field trauma. Open this up. It is brand new. I have a brand new one on every location that we go to. This does have quick clot, which I am not going to be using, but I want antiseptic wipes and a little bit of antibiotic ointment. All right, this is probably gonna hurt a little bit. You got a decent shot? Just a little sting. Gotta work that in there. Nothing else coming out of there. That's good. I'm sure the pressure actually inside of my boot probably helped with any further blood loss. And it wasn't a lot of blood, but you could definitely see that the gauge of the toe biter's rostrum pierced skin and put a pretty nice little puncture in the tip of my toe. I'm sure it did not help that my feet were already moist because the inside of my boots are soaked from last night's adventure when we actually caught the toe biter. I don't know if you guys remember when I jumped and fell off the edge of the pond, my boot was absolutely soaked. Okay, that's probably about as good and clean as we're gonna need it.
So this is just prevent infection, correct?
That is correct.
And this isn't really doing much for your pain?
No, this is doing nothing for the pain. And honestly, the pain is not horrible at this point. It kind of just feels like somebody whacked my toe with a hammer. It's like a dull, numb, throbbing pain at this point. Okay, Mario, let's bring that water in here. Okay.
Get it nice and hot, Mario?
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, that's like right on the verge of being too hot. Now this should actually be really great for my toe. Here we go, ready? Ooh, that's real hot.
Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, go.
Ooh. Too hot for me to fully put my toes in at this point. I gotta let it cool off a little bit. Okay. All right, here we go, ready? Ooh, that's hot. But it does feel good on my toe. And what I actually want to do too is just massage that warm water into the bite zone. Ooh. Wow, that's still really hot. Man.
So talk to me, why does this kind of treatment work with something like a toe biter?
Well, I also use this tactic with the lionfish venom, and the warm water is helping to break apart the enzymes, the peptides, and the proteins in the saliva from the toe biter. And it's actually, I can't tell if it's the hot water that's taking away some of the pain or it's the pain from the hot water that's actually replacing the pain from the toe biter bite. I just gotta let that soak for a little bit. All right, let's cut the cameras and let's come back here in about 10 minutes and see where my toe is at. Whoa, oh man, look, my toes kind of turned white from being in the water that whole time. Look at that. Can you see that? Zoom in on that.
Yeah, you can see where it pokes through your skin there.
Right there, yeah. Well, it definitely still hurts, right? It's not as bad as it was though. The hot water actually is a great distraction from the actual pain that's being induced by the saliva of the toe biter. Now, I do want to just gently dry this off here. Like that. Okay. And the last thing I'm gonna do is apply some triple antibiotic ointment. This will help fight any potential infection that may set in.
Basically Neosporin.
Yeah, Neosporin that came right out of my field trauma kit. I do have Neosporin, but we thought we'd use something different this time. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply that. You ready? I'm gonna glob it on there. Oh, wow, that's thick. I'm gonna kind of work that into the wound and around on my toe. And this is great. The sunshine has actually come out, which is gonna help dry out my toe. Now, I do want to keep it uncovered and keep an eye on it to make sure that an infection does not set in. Well, I think it's safe to say that thus far I have faced the first of my two greatest fears, being bitten by the toe biter. And it was bad, just as bad as I remembered when I was 8 years old. However, the bite coming up, which is going to come from the giant desert centipede, I fear may be the worst bite you can possibly get from any creepy crawly you find throughout the world. Stay tuned, guys, because that episode is coming up soon. What's going on, Coyote Pack? Today we're on location at the Colorado Wolf and Wildlife Center. This past week we had the chance to work with some frisky foxes. I got up close with a coyote, and we even got into an enclosure to feed wolves. But today, we're working with an animal of a different type.
Ponies.
That's right, and not just any ponies.
Miniature ponies.
We've been tasked with grooming, walking, and
Feeding.
which means that anything is possible. Are you ready?
GoPro's on.
Let's go find those ponies. Mario, how much time have you spent working with ponies?
Well, not much, but the question is, are they ponies or miniature horses?
Well, I think technically all ponies are horses, but not all horses are ponies. And these are miniature ponies, so they're my mini ponies. Have you ever heard of My Little Ponies?
Yeah, but that was a cartoon that I did not watch when I was younger.
I actually watch My Little Ponies all the time because my sister loved it. So
Really?
yeah, I have a feeling she's gonna really enjoy this video. There they are, the ultimate reveal.
All right.
There are the ponies.
Which one's which?
I don't know. One's named Cassie, one is named Dixie.
Are you Dixie or Cassie? Which one's which?
No, it's Dixie and Cassie, not Pixie. Is that what you said?
Dixie.
Dixie. Yeah, Dixie.
Okay.
Okay, well, the first thing we need to do is just obviously enter the enclosure with the ponies. All right, ponies, we're coming in. Good morning. How are you?
Earlier, when we've been working at the center, every time we enter an enclosure, we have to be really careful because we're working with wolves and dangerous animals. Anything we have to worry about with these guys?
Oh,
Is that a bite?
No, that's a kiss. That's a pony kiss right there. Okay, so the first thing we should probably do is groom the ponies, right?
Sure.
I feel like by grooming the ponies, we'll get them to warm up to us, and
Well.
from there, we'll figure out if we can actually walk the ponies.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
Can you ride a pony?
I don't think you can ride a pony, so how about this? You go ahead and groom first.
Okay.
I will film you grooming the pony. Give me your camera.
All right, there you go. So is this part of their daily routine?
It is now.
Ooh, is this a ponytail?
I think you'd have to braid it for it to be a ponytail.
Actually, that's the ponytail right there. How's that?
All right, Mario, doing a pretty good job grooming that pony.
The mystery's still out. Are they miniature horses or are they ponies? Because I always thought a pony was like a baby horse or something.
Now, that baby horse would be called a foal, and then a juvenile horse is a colt, and these would just be straight up miniature ponies.
Okay.
All right. Here, how about I hand over the cameras to you,
Okay.
and I will groom the other pony.
All right. Let's do it.
All right, pony. Good morning, how are you?
Oh. That pony doesn't like you, Coyote.
I was gonna do your hairdo. I was gonna.
He's gone.
My pony has run away in the other direction, all the way to the other side of the enclosure, which means I guess I better just follow the pony. Oh, pony!
Is there any way to call in a pony?
I think so. I think this is Cassie. Cassie! Come here, Cassie! You know what ponies really like?
What?
Carrots. And you know what I've got? A pocket full of carrots. Cassie! Breakfast! Come here, Cassie!
Why are you have such a high-pitched voice right now?
The ponies like it when you talk in high pitch. This is what I was told earlier today. They apparently like loud, shrill noises, so I'm gonna do my best to speak pony. Cassie! Here, sweetie! I've got some carrots!
Kind of sound like your mom.
I do? Let's see if we can get closer. Pony, you're standing in your own poop. Look what I've got, carrots. Come here, Pony. Look, come here, Pony. Good pony. My mini pony, my mini pony. I do remember the theme song. What? Look. The pony's gonna make me go right into the poop pile.
Maybe toss a carrot.
Oh, the pony found the carrot. Sometimes it takes a little bit of patience to be a pony whisperer. Look, carrots. What a good pony. There we go.
Coyote made contact.
Oh.
Gaining the trust.
I'm feeding the pony. Carrot. There we go. Okay, good pony. Okay, well, we got the feeding part down, but I don't think this pony's gonna let me groom it.
No, but slowly but surely, I think you're gaining its trust. There you go. A nice little pet.
There we go. Okay, maybe if I do this and give the pony a carrot, and then I do the grooming. Let's see. Oh, good girl. There we go. Oh, nope. I don't think we're gonna be putting any braids into this pony's mane. Ooh, got it. All right, I'm gonna go, maybe I'll go groom the other pony. Let's see what happens.
I'm gonna give this one another carrot real quick.
Okay.
Here you go.
So, I couldn't groom Cassie, but I'm gonna come over here and groom Dixie, because Dixie seems to enjoy grooming much more than Cassie does. Okay, now I have fed a pony and groomed a pony. The next task is to walk a pony. Come on, pony.
All right, off you go.
Come on.
Giddy up.
I don't think this pony's very interested in going for a walk. Come
Here.
on, pony.
Lure it with
Oh,
some
with a
carrots.
carrot. Good idea. Pony. Yeah, she's definitely much more interested in eating that grass, isn't she? Taking care of ponies is much more difficult than I thought it was going to be. I thought we were going to go for a walk. I thought we were going for a walk. Let's get some exercise. What do you say? What do you think? You want to just run around in the enclosure? We can go this way. Let's go. There we go. There we
Go.
All right, we got the pony getting exercise to about the edge of the snow line. You don't like to walk in the snow? No snow? All right, well, I guess that's about as far as we'll go then. Does that count as exercise for the pony?
Not really.
No, this isn't exactly going according to plan, is it? All right, I'm gonna unhook you. I'm gonna count that as your exercise for the day though, okay? You made it all of about 15 steps.
Here we go. Here's a carrot for
all your efforts.
effort.
I thought this was gonna be easy. Grooming, feeding, and walking ponies. It's actually probably the most difficult thing we've done all week.
Well, I'd say you're a little bit more of an expert on ponies since you watched a lot of My Ponytails or My Little Ponies.
That's the cartoon, but this is My Mini Ponies. Well, that's how you get them to exercise. There you go. Woo! Mario has figured out how to best exercise the ponies. All it takes is a bag of carrots. You just have to run with it and the ponies follow you. Run back over this way.
Running with ponies is hard work, especially at this elevation.
Here comes Cassie, picking up the lead from behind. You can do it, girl. You got it. Ponies, not exactly as fast as horses. Yep, you made it. Good job. But unfortunately, I don't have any carrots. There goes Mario and Dixie. Woo! You're not quite as fast as Dixie, are you? Yeah, you're a pretty pony. Well, today we were tasked with taking care of the ponies. We groomed the ponies, we fed the ponies, and Mario even figured out how to exercise the ponies. All you need to do is run with a bag full of carrots. I'm Coyote Peterson.
I'm Mario the Koa.
Be brave.
Stay wild.
We'll see you on the next location.
Carrots, carrots, come on, carrots, get your carrots. Woo!
Here we go. Nice black and white coat too. What a pretty pony. My mini pony. My mini pony, my mini pony. I know you love it when I brush your hair. This is the strangest on location episode we've ever filmed.
I'm just gonna lie down here actually and just get some sun.
This is one very happy pony. Don't get stepped on.
That was close.
Hi, pony. If you happen to find yourself in Divide, Colorado, and are looking for an up-close encounter with some of our planet's beautiful predators, make sure to swing by the Colorado Wolf and Wildlife Center. Or, if you happen to find yourself in Divide, Colorado, and are looking for an up-close encounter with some of our planet's grumpiest mini ponies, they will be there waiting for you. And make sure to bring a bag of mini carrots as an offering, because nothing goes better with mini ponies than mini carrots.